Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. People, remember on the original Runaway Slave channel, I covered this story out of Brooklyn, New York. There's a white couple. They chopped the black man up, put him in the freezer, left him there for 2 years, sealed the freezer up. Well, the man who did that, right, he got life in prison. But the woman, the white woman, she's looking like she's going to walk, and get away with this, which is ridiculous to me because she participated in it. So the black man's name is Kawsheen Gelzer. He was about 39 or 40 or 41 at the time. Brooklyn man, drug dealer. He was in the streets. He dealt heroin and crack, lived a low vibrational life. And he had some kind of a relationship, drug-based relationship with Nicholas McGee, age 48, and McGee's common law wife named Heather Steins. She's 48 also. Now they're drug addicts. These two are drug addicts. And Kawsheen Gelzer, he's the drug dealer. Like we said numerous times, these interracial friendships are usually grounded in drugs and low vibrational activities 90% of the time. So again, Kawsheen is the drug dealer. Nicholas and Heather, they're the fiends, and they have an apartment. So they allow Kawsheen to crash on their couch in exchange for drugs. That's like a trade-off. They get high or whatever, he gives them drugs, they let him crash there. Now the first story that came out was the chick Heather, she told her husband Nicholas McGee that Kawsheen Gelzer asked her for oral sex in exchange for drugs and she refused. Okay, so then she said she went and told her husband Nicholas McGee, and Nicholas McGee was furious over this and he felt that Kawsheen had disrespected him. So he was so furious over what he saw as disrespect, he left the house, he went and got high somewhere else, and he came home saying, I'm going to kill him. So what they did, right, they rocked Kawsheen to sleep. They let him go to sleep. Okay, he goes to sleep, acting like everything was normal. Once he was asleep, face down on the couch, Nicholas McGee went and got a knife, started stabbing him in the back. Kawsheen Gelzer wakes up. Now he's fighting back after getting stabbed. He's fighting for his life. They're struggling. So Nicholas McGee is stabbing him repeatedly. Then he grabs a hammer, starts beating him with a hammer. Eventually he kills him. And medical evidence showed that Nicholas McGee inflicted more than 60 sharp force wounds to Kawsheen Gelzer's head, torso, and limbs, in addition to those hammer blows. Afterwards, Nicholas McGee goes in Kawsheen Gelzer's pockets, takes the drugs that are there, and of course he goes and get high. Okay, and to be honest with you, that was probably the most important thing to him, and that's probably why he really wanted to do it in the first place. These people are fiends. I don't believe the whole story about he asked her for oral sex and he felt disrespected, because these people are fiends. Anybody knows that she will do that. He will offer her up to Kawsheen for drugs. This is a junkie right here. This is what these guys do, you know what I'm saying? So that whole story right there, I don't believe that. And he also told a different story in the long run. So that's what he tried to say at first. But we already know if that is something that was going to go down, if Kawsheen Gelzer was asking for that from a fiend lady and a fiend dude, he would have let his girlfriend or wife do that. That's what they do. You know what I mean? That's probably what they was already in there doing. I mean, he don't care about that kind of disrespect. These are junkies, you know what I mean? So I think this was all about them drugs anyway, because he did change his story. So after Nicholas McGee killed Kawsheen, he dragged his body into the bathroom, put him in the bathtub for a few days. Finally, he went and secured a saw and a hammer, cut him up into pieces, put different pieces of him in plastic bags. He put the head and the torso in the refrigerator and the arms and legs into the freezer. Then he went and taped and glued up the refrigerator to contain the smell, and the remains of Kawsheen sat there for almost 2 years. Okay? Now Kawsheen Gelzer, he was reported missing by his mother on April 22nd, 2022, which was about a month after he was actually killed. Okay, he's part of a missing persons report or whatever. So this is what happened. The case broke when some anonymous Crime Stoppers tip came in saying that there may be a body in that apartment stored in the refrigerator. You know, these are fiends. They talk, people come in and out. You know that they can't hold nothing, too much anyway, very undisciplined, and, just their priority is just getting high every day and all day. So when they heard this, the police responded. Heather Steins, the wife or the girlfriend, she let them in, but she started to get combative when they tried to inspect that taped up refrigerator. She's fighting and everything, making sure that they don't get to it, and, then they arrested her for that. So when they got in there, of course, they matched Kawsheen Gelzer's distinctive tattoos and remains, and the medical examiner confirmed, yeah, this is him through his fingerprints, tattoos, all that, okay? Now, at this time, the husband, Nicholas McGee, okay, when they found his body, he was in Chesapeake, Virginia in jail, dealing with another fraud case that he was caught up in, so he wasn't there. So finally, NYPD, the detectives, they interviewed him, and he confessed, saying how he waited for Kawsheen to fall asleep, hit him with the hammer and the knife, stabbed him up, then he woke up, then they fought, and that's what happened. The girlfriend, right, or the wife, Heather Steins, she pled guilty to concealment of a human corpse and third-degree bail jumping, and Nicholas McGee was convicted of first-degree murder by a Brooklyn jury, and he did get life in prison without parole. And he did deserve it, But here's the problem, man. This chick, Heather, she got some real light charges. Although she participated in this, she probably wasn't the main aggressor with the knife and the hammer. But come on, man. She stayed up in there for 2 years with the body. She's trying to protect the situation. She's lying about the situation. When the police come, they could see how she acted. She, of course, had to help him cut it up and put it up in there in the freezer and all that, But she looks like she's going to get no time, people. Concealment of a corpse and third-degree bail jumping. She going to pull the whole drug thing, yo. This chick is not going to do any time for this. And I think that she should get at least 15 years, minimum. This is messed up because I know that if that was a black woman, she definitely would be sitting down for that. That's some white privilege right there. She played a role in this. There's no way a black woman from Brooklyn is not getting away with this right here. Nah, she not walking away. This woman's gonna walk away. She lived in a spot for 2 years with a body, come on.
A disturbing discovery inside an apartment building sends shockwaves through one Brooklyn neighborhood.
You never know who's behind closed doors.
Manuel Aponte is still in disbelief after hearing his friend, 40-year-old Kawsheen Gelzer, was found dismembered in a freezer.
When I found out that, I said, it can't be. You know what I mean? And that's just exactly what it was.
NYPD officers did a wellness check at the apartment of 45-year-old Heather Steins on Monday night. That's when police say they found dismembered body parts, including a head and limbs, in separate black bags inside her freezer. Detectives say Gelzer was identified by his fingerprints.
I don't think, that they go through with this and find out who really done it, because he doesn't deserve that.
Aponte said he hadn't seen his friend in a few months and started to get worried. He says Gelzer will be sorely missed.
Likeable guy, lovable guy, really. Everybody liked him in the neighborhood.
The Brooklyn District Attorney's Office says Steins had 3 open warrants at the time of her arrest. She was ultimately charged with concealment of a human corpse and arraigned Friday morning.
Let the law deal with it, I guess, you know what I mean? Whoever did it, they'll get their day. Somebody's going to pay for what they did.
Officials say Gelzer's remains were transported to the office of the chief medical examiner, who will determine the exact cause of death. In Flatbush, Rebecca Greenberg, New York 1.
People, get in the comments. Let me know what you know about this, what you think about this. Do you live in that area of Flatbush? Also, link in the description to the masterpiece. The N-word is no secret in the service. Go ahead and get that. Also, link to the email list. Get on that. Holla at that so that you know what the content is, just in case YouTube start doing their YouTube thing. Easy.